Nobody wants to see people on the street, and if they do, they really must ask them the story.
In paint and in music, the words of people who have been homeless, given a whole new audience by Underworld.
I was just curious about why people were sleeping in doorways, and you know, my kids were asking me what's going on, and I didn't have a satisfactory answer. I've come close to being lost enough to have lost everything, and I don't see any difference between the people who are living on the streets and me, just because I've got a job.
And it was when Underworld were at their most popular that Carl thought he might end up on the streets.
How close did you come to being homeless?
Close, because I was losing everything. It came to pieces quite a lot of times. I had real problems. It was in the most successful of those times that I was at my lowest, and came very close. And it looked like a really good option to throw in the towel.
The dance duo works with the charity Mustard Tree to record the stories of 35 former rough sleepers.
So as soon as you hit them streets, you're vulnerable and you're scared, and your dignity is stripped away from you.
The aim? To make people think about the homeless not as a group, but as individuals. Jo is one of the voices. She is now housed, but shared her story with us.
I always worked while I had addiction problems. A couple of years ago, ended up losing some jobs, ended up committing crimes over Christmas, went to prison, came out of prison with nowhere to live.
How do you look back in that period now?
It is scary, it's frightening to be out on the streets, especially in a big city like Manchester. And if it's at a weekend as well, when people are coming past drunk, and I know people get abused, and I know people that have been urinated on and thrown food at, and it's not nice.
Underworld have taken over a shop in the centre of Manchester until Friday. Anyone can pop in for a listen and watch Carl in action.
I want them to read it and go on a journey.
Mooch has been off the streets for 3 years. He is one of the voices in the soundtrack and thinks that Manchester Street Poem really can bring about change.
This gives people the opportunity to know what people are on the streets. They've all got a story to tell. They're all someone, and at the end I want it to be somebody that's come off the streets, turn their life around by the help of all this, which will happen, and I know it's happening now.
And as for Jo?
What does it mean to you to have your story now being told by Underworld?
It's great to be part of something like this, It's good to see that people can see that, you're a person, you're not just something that's sat on the street that they walk past.
Colin Patterson, BBC News, Manchester.